My name is McReynolds, and I guess I was team leader. I don't know. Head honcho.
My name is Elizabeth Page, and I was assistant to the head honcho of the project.
My name is Mike Pipher. Mike Anthony Pipher is my full name. I assisted with the leader of our project.
Guess what time it is?
It's Ritveld time! Garrett Ritveld was the man. He lived in Eindhoven over Mandansen. Okay, blah, 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 blah.
This is a picture of Garrett Ritveld.
Yeah, he's pretty good looking, especially for his age. As you know, Garrett Ritveld designed his famous red and blue chair in 1917. It was really a big step in modern furniture, using modern joints and modern detail and modern colors.
Did you know Garrett Ritveld was one of the leading architects in the Distill movement?
Distill was a Dutch movement that advocated pure abstraction by reducing the essentials of form and color.
Another handsome picture of Garrett Ritveld.
So what have you learned about Garrett Ritveld today? Have you learned that he's a furniture designer? But did you also know that he's an architect and an interior designer? Bet you didn't. Well, now you do. Garrett Ritveld was all of those.
Another handsome picture of Garrett Ritveld. I was inspired by Ritveld's end table design for my lectern design that we were assigned in class.
Professor Martella loves the end table. And now you know about how Garrett Ritveld came to a huge part in our design project.
The way it looks now is not the way that I had envisioned it at the start, obviously, and just kept going through iterations, and you know, eventually you gotta, like I said, decide on something, and that's what we went with. And as far as the cutouts go, we thought it took away the weight, as well as I thought it made it look pretty cool too. So that's just what we landed on, I guess. What did you learn on this project that you can maybe use in the future?
Well, I'm not really a big wood shop guy. I'm not really interested in too much of the cutting wood, but I learned how to really build a project from scratch all the way to its finished stage, and this is really the first one where we've actually got that.
Figuring out what works and what doesn't, and definitely doing 1,000,001 iterations and small little changes where they could look very similar, but a dimension changed from one plan to the next.
I guess the way it helps you is we were designing it full scale, and it was really, I guess, like intimate, because it was, you know, designed for the human form.
It wasn't a scale model, it was a full scale thing. We were able to actually build something that we could, if we wanted to, actually use.
So I know now, after going through that project, that it's a lot easier to like appreciate the chair now, because you look at it and you're like, well, somebody had to design that, had to go through a process.
If it was something like a chair or a desk, I mean, this is something that I can apply from the lessons I learned while building the lectern. I know how to build the joints now, I know how to use the tools.
So a lot of people like different designs, so design is different.
How does design
begin? Like, how does it start?
I think it starts from a thought of something that you saw at one point. I mean, I definitely feel that most design starts with a precedent or a need to get something done, which is how most of us work. But if it's something that isn't, oh, I need something specific, then it's very much people's own thoughts.
Suppose architecture is just like a category like of design, I guess, and there's like many things that go along with that, like furniture and.
What is good design? What do you think good design is?
I think good design is design that goes through a series of iterations, a series of changes and kind of manipulations to the original design, because, I mean, my view on design is really that a design is only good if you work together and collaborate to change an idea to make it better.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I know that you could do like a million iterations of it, and me myself, I caught myself doing that last year where I just kept going and didn't never stopped on the first project, and I realized at some point, you got to stop and pick an idea or else it'll never get done.
To do it, it was just not the amount of time we spent in studio and on projects and how little sleep we get is definitely something that I knew was going to happen, but I didn't know.
I was a pre-med student last year, and I realized I didn't like that, so.
In terms of architecture, I think my best experience is actually messing up. Last semester, I messed up maybe 5 times in the same project. I broke my model 5 times in the same night. I ended up having to sleep at the architecture building on top of a wooden desk. I woke up with a more sore back than somebody that had been working on the farm for maybe about 10 hours. It was awful. It wasn't a great experience, but I think it was my best experience because it kind of taught me that this isn't going to be easy, but it's something that I love. And if I wasn't here, if I gave up and threw in the towel at that point, then it kind of shows that I didn't love this. And the fact that I'm still here after almost breaking my back and staying a near 26 hours in studio, then yeah, I guess it taught me that architecture really is my true field of choice.